This statue represents a man called Idrimi, who was king of the city-state of Alalakh, on the border between modern-day Turkey and Syria, ruling it from circa 1500 BC to circa 1450 BC. The statue is relatively large, being approximately 100 centimetres or 40 inches tall. It is made of a hard white stone and would have had inlaid glass for each eye. The statue was excavated by the archaeologist Sir Leonard Woolley in the mid-20th century and is currently on display in the British Museum in London. The statue can tell us about methods of manufacture in the region in the 15th century BC, as well as the status of the king of Alalakh himself. Idrimi is depicted in a seated pose, with his arms raised flat in front of him. This is a common posture in depictions of kings at this time, showing that Alalakh sculptors understood and imitated artistic convention in the wider region. It is possible that Idrimi's left hand would have originally held some sort of ceremonial staff, such as a mace. He is wearing a distinctive round headdress with a neck guard, illustrating the combined civilian, ceremonial, and military role he would have possessed. His clothes are simple, but have the added addition of a belt or sash. The staring eyes are especially large, which gives the sculpture its visually arresting quality. Finally, he is bearded in a manner akin to other kings and rulers of the day. Alalakh was founded in the 2nd millennium BC by the Amorites, a Semitic people living throughout Mesopotamia and the Levant. The city was destroyed by the Hittite Empire in the 16th century BC, before being refounded by Idrimi fewer than 100 years later. The name of the modern-day archaeological site is Tel Echana. It was first surveyed in 1930, and regular excavations have taken place there ever since. The site is notable for displaying a broad range of material culture, from prehistoric tools and farming implements to military buildings belonging to the Hittite Empire. The statue is particularly important for the inscription carved on its front and back, which may have been added after the statue was created. Indeed, some scholars have theorized that it may have been added up to 300 years after Idrimi's death. It is written in the Akkadian language in cuneiform script. However, the Akkadian displays faulty or non-standard grammar and spelling, which may well lend credence to the theory that it was written a significant amount of time after Idrimi's reign. The inscription is a brief history of Idrimi's life and rule. It tells us that Idrimi and his family were exiled from Alalakh to the nearby province of Imar. From there, Idrimi went to Canaan and lived there for several years, gaining popular support with which he could attempt to take back the city. He mounted a seaborne expedition to recover his territory and, through a combination of appeals to King Mitanni, ruler of the region, and military conquests elsewhere, he was granted the status of a vassal king of Alalakh. The inscription ends with a blessing on those who pay the statue its due reverence, and a curse on those who would dishonour it. Though it is important to take this narrative with a pinch of salt, as parts of it may well be exaggerated for propagandist reasons, this tantalizingly brief inscription provides us with one of the few historical documents regarding the history of this fascinating, little understood kingdom.